Here with family Davis. This is Kristie. You guys know her from her 9 world medals. This is Link. You might know him from his coaching tenure at Oklahoma City University. Actually, wasn't it Broken Arrow before that?
Broken Arrow in El Reno.
And this is Lilly.
7.
How old is Lilly now?
She is 13 months.
Why didn't you just say a year?
A year and a month. Just a little over years.
So, Kristie, this is not an unfamiliar situation for you, having wrestled with, toting kid around. You've become used to it, but now the dynamic is here because one, not only is Lilly in the way, not in the way, but around, excuse me, I didn't mean it like that, but your husband is a world team coach, so now you're being coached by your husband on a world team level. That's got to be interesting for you.
Yeah, it is. It's no different though. I mean, Link's been helping coach since, I met him in 2007, and it's just been around for the last 2 years anyway, so it's no different.
What's it like for you, Mr. Davis?
Oh, I think we have a good rapport together. We kind of leave what's on the mat, and in the wrestling room, and go home. And it's kind of separate sometimes. Sometimes we're wrestlers, so we keep talking about things, and sometimes we get heated up. But it's good being around as a family. So.
As far as your coaching experience on the women's coaching level, you've been coaching with Archie down at Oklahoma City University. What's it been like transitioning from coaching, say, high school now to coaching? You got both men and women at Oklahoma City, but now being on a women's world team coaching staff.
It's real exciting. We're wrestling, helping coach some of the best women in the U.S. And it's real fun. It's easy to coach good people. We've got some of our girls up here helping train and doing a good job, so that's helping them, sharpen their skills and learning things too. So it's fun.
So Lilly, what did you think of Elmo? You like Elmo?
You like Elmo? Yeah.
So from what's it? Oh, first of all, Chris, you had to do this before. What's it like now the second time around?
Second time around, it's a lot different. I don't know. I think Lilly actually might be more involved than Kayla was when I first started out, just because there was always somebody around to watch her at night to go to practice and stuff. But this time Lily's at practice, at school, and she's definitely more in the picture.
Well, when we first saw Lilly a couple months ago at the Girls Folkstyle Nationals, she was a scream machine. How is that quelled, if anything?
It hasn't. She's just being more vocal every day.
Now, notice when practice is going on, you're involved, obviously, as a coaching, you're training, and this one is sitting there this whole day today, she was staring right at that screen, watching Elmo. So
Elmo has become our #1 babysitter during practices. Before, she would just sit and watch, and sit in the chair and watch wrestling, but now she just is all over the place, and it's good that she's kind of taken interest in something, for that 2 hours. So she does a pretty good job for the most part, and it really helps out. She lets me get stuff done.
Now, what about the competition-wise? You're looking for your 10th world medal. You're back down in a weight class that you've had a lot of success at. First of all, we haven't had a chance to really talk to you about the drop down to the return, and two, the drop down to 67. But how hard was that for you? I mean, obviously, after giving birth, there was probably a little more weight there than you were.
Just a little bit more weight. Going back down to 67s, I think it became apparent to me when I wrestled. I wrestled in Germany a little bit before World Team Trials, and when I was wrestling the girls, I just didn't feel where I used to be. I mean, obviously I've been off the mat for a little bit, about a year and a half, and I weighed in under the 2 kilo allowance, which never really happens. So I kind of just, made the commitment to go down. And, with working out as much as we do, just down in Oklahoma, it came off. And, with a little bit of diet, it just seemed like a good fit.
One thing we pointed out in the webcast, I think we caught a little bit of flack for, was no, you're not running from the competition down at 67, but for the strength of the U.S. team, you at 67 definitely makes you stronger than having one of 4 potential medal hopes at one spot at 72.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, and me, out of all 4 of them, have been, I've been down there before, and it just, that's where I feel comfortable. I mean, I like this weight, and unfortunately, it's not an Olympic weight class. So eventually, I will have to make a decision, but for now, I'm just wrestling to get matches and to get back what I've lost in the last year and a half. So.
Like, what's it like been trying to supervise your wife with the weight cut? Is it a little more ornery around the house at sometimes?
Oh, it's not. It hasn't been that bad. I've had to do
that bad.
It hasn't been bad. We just. It helps me too. Both of us changing our eating habits a little bit. There, when she was getting down, I lost probably about 10 pounds or so because we were cooking and eating salads at home and making that time to where we had to sit down and eat. But it hadn't been real bad, hardly at all.
As far as this family dynamic, very unique. Obviously, Lilly won't be making the trip to Moscow, but
thought about it.
You've got kid by the back, husband coaching you wrestling. It's a very unique dynamic in the sport of wrestling. What do you think of it all? And if you're outside looking in, what do you think?
I don't know that a lot of people would understand our lifestyle. And I think we've had this conversation millions of times, but as far as family goes, I mean, our 8-year-old daughter, Briley, is always around us when we're wrestling too, and same thing with Kayla. She's been around us since she was a baby, and it just fits. I mean, if we're not wrestling, we don't know what to do with our lives, and for us it works, and it'll continue, and it brings us closer, I think. I mean, it's good. It's a good combo.
So obviously the goal going into the world is another world championship, a 10th world medal. I mean, do you think there's any added pressure coming back after the layoff? Right, Lilly? Is there added pressure?
I think the only added pressure would be the pressure I put on myself. Coming back, my main goal was to go back out there and have fun, and just, it got to the point where there was too much pressure, and now I feel that since I've been back, if I can let up on myself, I can enjoy myself. So, I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, a world championship or another medal would be very nice, but I think long-term goal here is 2 years from now. So.
Well, there you have it. Here's the story of a wrestling family. Right, Lilly?
You say, I'm done.
Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye. Look, kiss us.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Say bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Nope.